Welcome to episode 6 of Die Hard. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the shares. Thank you for all the love. This has been great. Having a lot of good feedback. It's been fun to listen to what you guys think about stuff. We got a lot of positive feedback about the kind of motivational things I've been saying about anxiety and stuff like that. A lot of comments about the Bill Burr stuff. Anyways, this is why we do it. I'm glad I get to connect with you guys once a week, tell you what's going on with me, catch you up with what's going on with me. More importantly, just sharing with you what's going on between my ears. This week was awesome. What a great week for Jeff personally, maybe not the world, but for me personally, it was a great week. I got to go to Boston. While I was in Boston, my friends Andrew and Nikki, shout out to them. They came and hung out the whole weekend in Boston, came to the shows, dinked around with us. Whenever I go to Boston, I get to see a guy named Don Zolo. Don Zolo is kind of like Boston stereotype. He's just the perfect Boston representative. He's all the things. He's got the accent. He loves the Patriots, the Red Sox. I mean, he's just such a Boston dude. Even his whole look is very Boston. But anyways, I got to hang out with him all weekend, which was awesome. I got to kick it with who else was with us? Oh, Bowers, who just came with me. But anyways, it was a very, very good weekend. Very, very fun. I had a great time. All the shows were sold out. Everyone in Boston was so cool. I got to see John Tobin. Shout out to him. He's the guy who owns Laugh Boston. And then on Sunday, we drove from Boston, Massachusetts to Providence, Rhode Island. Super easy drive. It's only an hour away. And did 2 shows at the Comedy Connection, which is a great comedy club in Rhode Island. Why am I telling you all this? Why am I saying things like John Tobin, who you don't know, or naming Boston and Providence, Rhode Island, or Comedy Connection that you might not know? Because this Sunday, performing and headlining in Rhode Island marked that I have headlined all 50 states, which to a stand-up comedian used to be like kind of a goal you would try to do. If you performed in every state. I've performed in some states multiple stinking times, but the hard ones to get are Alaska and Hawaii, obviously. But I had those checked off so long ago that I was like, I just need the Rhode Island to really have all 50. There's a guy who's a producer. You've probably seen him on, if you follow me, if you're a real diehard, you've probably seen him on other podcasts. His name's Christian. He was like, I could set that up. Can I open for you? And I was like, yeah. And then it only happened because of Christian. And then he couldn't make it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't even come.
Oh, there's so many things that I've had set up that are only because of Christian, and then he's fallen out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel bad because those shows were amazing. And the people of Rhode Island were amazing. We made great connections with the club. I'm going to try and do a whole weekend there coming up because I just couldn't believe how great that club was and how great all the people of Rhode Island were. After the show, I went to a great cigar lounge. That I think it's called Cigar Ale House. It was a very, very cool place. Strong recommend. Woman owned. I don't know if that's important to you, but it was a cool place. And then there was a guy that came to the show who has a barcade. And so it's just a bar, and it's called Free Play. It's in Providence, Rhode Island, and none of the games cost money. All the games are just open for you to play. They make their money off of just drinks at the bar.
They don't like the sober guys, Jeff.
I know, but they did like me. They let me come in for free, and it was a great time.
Can you give us 5 minutes if you're not going to drink?
Well, I kept ordering non-alcoholic Heineken. So that counts.
That counts.
That's like buying a beer, you know? And they were just so nice and so cool to us. I kept playing this game. They had this giant version of NBA Jam. I think it's called NBA Superstars. And basically it's just NBA Jam, but it's 3-on-3 and it has current rosters. I was so into it. I was so into it that I was like, I'm going to buy one of these. And they're like, we got it from Dave & Buster's because it's last year's model. And they have to buy a new one every year if it's going to be Dave & Buster's because they want the current rosters and all that different stuff. But this one had Luka. It had like on the Lakers. It had Hachimura on the Lakers. Like it seemed pretty current. Anyways.
Dave & Buster's is probably the only market for like the current new every year video game system.
Yeah, because their big thing was like mostly vintage games and stuff, which is tough. It's tough to get into vintage gaming at the arcade because at least when you're me. I mean, I played Dig Dug for like 12 minutes and then I was like, I'm good. I don't want to play no more. So then I would go to a different box where it was like the Simpsons arcade. And I'd play that. Now after 10 minutes, I'm bored of that. And then I went over to the Ninja Turtles. Like, I really can't get into anything for long. Even air hockey, I was like, I'm kind of bored after 10 minutes.
Let's get a top 5 list for the click's sake. What do you got? Your top 5 arcade games?
Number 1, NBA Jam. It's timeless, the best. Number 2, Mortal Kombat. I love the fighting games. I've always loved the Mortal Kombat games. This one is tough, but just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the reason I say that's tough is because you don't have to be good at Ninja Turtles. You just got to keep putting in quarters. They'll give you as many lives as you want.
That's how the Simpsons game was.
Exactly. I didn't realize that just the kid with the most quarters wins. Like, you know, if you got enough money, they'll let you win the game, which is weird, interesting. If I'm going to pick a classic pattern game like Donkey Kong or Pac-Man or any of those things, it is Dig Dug. Love that game. And then this is a sleeper. This arguably, I just thought of it. It should probably be higher on my list, but I just got to it now. It's Tapper. You ever played that?
No.
Tapper was a game that was very successful. It was one of the early pattern games. Great for arcade because it's just a button and a direction. And it's not that complex, but it's a pattern game. The reason it isn't exist and maybe not as popular in the zeitgeist of gaming is because they got in a lot of trouble for it. The game was made, produced, and advertised Budweiser. So, like, every screen has, like, a big Budweiser bow tie, and it's got the thing that keeps showing Budweiser, and it's, like, basically just a bartender pouring drinks. The only tip of the hat or acknowledgement of Tapper I've seen since the 80s is that he's in Wreck-It Ralph. He serves him drinks in Wreck-It Ralph. So that's a good. It was a fun bar and a cool place.
My honorable mention would be Time Crisis.
Never played that.
Oh, with the
never
pedal,
even heard of it.
With the pedal and the gun.
Never played it.
We're gonna go to an arcade just
I'd love
to play it.
Is it good?
So yeah, basically you have a gun and there's a pedal on the ground and you're tucked behind like a barrel or something. And every time you hit the pedal, your guy steps out and you shoot.
Nice.
And then when you take your foot off to reload and there's things coming at you and you can like hit the thing and duck and move. And basically that button with your foot is how you duck and move around and you shoot. And there's some viral videos, and usually what it would be is you and a buddy could both play the same game, and he'd have his pedal and gun, you'd have your pedal and gun, and you'd each have your own screen, but going through the same level together
like the first
at the
teamwork
arcade.
Game, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's super cool videos of like hardcore arcade people who take both guns and do both pedals, left foot, right foot, on both screens.
That's amazing. I will say this. How come, or not how come, I imagine there's probably a lot of guys who would make great soldiers playing they play Call of Duty, they play a game like that. They could be using their powers to represent their country over in the war, like in wars. I have a theory that men drive better than women, which is a stereotype, but I find it to be true because maybe we play video games more than girls do. When you're young, you're always playing a video game as a boy, and then like some girls play video games, but I don't feel like it's as popular in the girl community. And then like I'm like, well, yeah, it's all hand-eye coordination. It's like being aware of shit. Also, we have to go to war, and you don't historically, so that's it's one of those things, but. It was very, very, very fun. Happy to celebrate 50 headlined states and get to go do some fun stuff in Rhode Island and Boston. It was very awesome. The reason earlier I said that it was a great week for Jeff Dye, but maybe not a great week for life in general, just because I had a good week doesn't mean it was great. If you were a 90s kid, either born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s or born in the 90s and you have a good memory of being young, we lost a lot of celebrities this week that were 90s legends. One, Ozzy Osbourne. I wasn't a big Ozzy Osbourne guy. I didn't listen to his music, but that's a pretty famous man to pass away.
With all the tributes that were being shared, I kind of realized, even though I wasn't deep in the lore of his fan, there were still so many songs of his. I was like, oh yeah, that's his.
Yeah.
And, oof.
Hulk Hogan. That was a big one for me. He passed away. I couldn't believe that. Pretty young. 70-something's pretty young. I think 71. That's very young. That was a very shocking one for me, and I'm excited to talk about that next. And then also Ryan Sandberg, which is insane because he's even younger than Hulk Hogan.
He's been sick a while.
And so very sad for all of the Chicago Cubs fans, my heart goes out to you. To all the Philadelphia Phillies fans, as Ryan was a big part of their organization as well. Hearts go out to you. Ryan Sandberg, dude, I'm a big fan. I got to shake your hand about, I don't know how long ago it was. I don't even know if it was pre or post COVID, but I got to shake your hand and meet you, and I was very excited. I have a framed photo with you in my home, and people always go, "You a big Ryan Sandberg fan?" I go, "Not really, but at least that's a good picture of us," and it was a cool surprise. I just went to a Topps party where you break cards and stuff, and Ryan Sandberg was a surprise guest, and I was like, "This is pretty cool." So just remembering that memory, but now that he's passed, I'm even happier to look at that image because I'm glad I got to shake your hand before you passed. So all of those things, I am friends with Kelly Osbourne, who's Ozzy Osbourne's daughter, and so my heart goes out to her, and I texted her a really nice thing, and we chatted a little bit. Same with Hulk Hogan. I'm friends with Brooke Hogan, and so I'm directly connected to these people, not just as a fan, but also their families and whatever. Hulk Hogan. Here's my favorite Hulk Hogan memory. My favorite Hulk Hogan memory was when I was a little boy and I was playing wrestling toys, those WWF Hasbros. Me and Eric Behrens, shout out to you, Eric, if you're listening. We played with these toys, and Eric said, these are real people. And I was like, huh? And then he put in a VHS tape of pro wrestling. And I couldn't believe that the toys that I was looking at were alive on the screen. So between the toys and then the wrestling and then also being on this play date with Eric, that was when I fell in love with wrestling. I can exactly remember the age and the moment. I was in kindergarten and me and Eric were having this play date. And so that's really when I fell in love with Hulk Hogan, because he was the biggest star. He was getting the most screen time. He won everything. He had the championship belt. He really was larger than life. I said to myself, once I started doing comedy, someday I'll meet Hulk Hogan. Someday I'll be able to get to shake that man's hand or whatever. And that time came in Florida. I was performing at the Tampa Side Splitters, which I'll be back this year, I believe. And I texted Brooke Hogan. I said, "Hey, would you and your dad want to come to my show tonight?" Thinking, whatever. She'll probably say he's out of town, or, no, he can't make it, or I can't make it, or ignore my text altogether. That's how a lot of famous people are. And Brooke goes, "Sure, we can come Saturday. Can you make sure that, we can go through the back so we don't have to, take a bunch of pictures?" And, because Terry's so famous, Hulk is so famous, that he doesn't want to have to, deal with that all the time. And I was like, that's the easiest. Yeah, of course. I can arrange for someone to walk you in the back. That's super easy. So Hulk Hogan came to my show with his new wife and Brooke Hogan. And Brooke, I don't know who she brought. I don't remember if she brought a boyfriend or a date. I can't recall. But Hulk Hogan sat in the audience, just this larger-than-life man, and I could just see his silhouette laughing at every joke I did. And the reason it's so special to me is because when I was a little boy, I'm running around my house ripping my shirt off, thinking there's no one cooler and bigger than Hulk Hogan. And now he's at my show, laughing at what I do, enjoying the thing I'm good at. I want to be the Hulk Hogan of stand-up comedy. I hope to someday be the funniest fucking comedian in the world. I want to be so famous at this that people go, "Oh, Jeff Dye is the best comedian that is alive now. He's the new Bill Burr. He's the new Richard Pryor." That's what I want. That's the goal. And Hulk Hogan getting to see me do what I do after I've admired him so much as a young man, it was very special for me, and I was very excited, and miss you, Hulk Hogan, and I love you. I want to address this because this next topic I want to address about Hulk Hogan is why I do Die Hard. Because sometimes I get real loose-lipped, and I say shit, and then people get mad at me, and this podcast is supposed to be for the Die Hards, a safe space where it's behind a paywall and I can say what I want. And so that's what the next part I want to discuss about Hulk Hogan. I am disgusted at what I was reading on the internet of people being like, "Good, I'm glad he's dead. He said the N-word years ago. Fuck that racist piece of shit." They waited an hour after his death to try to re-cancel a guy who, sure, Hulk Hogan's not perfect or nothing, but why do you even have to say, why do people even feel the need to go, he wasn't perfect, he was a flawed man, but he was a big deal to wrestling? Why even say that? None of us are perfect. None of us, we're all flawed men. Why even say it? Are you trying to go, hey, I know that racism is magic nowadays. Magically, racism's the worst thing you can be. Ozzy Osbourne shot 18 of his own cats with a shotgun and tried to kill his wife once. We didn't have to go, hey, I know Ozzy was a flawed man, but we send our condolences. We just go, we're going to miss you. You're this larger than life rock star. You were a reality star. You were a dad. You were a husband. We're going to miss you. That's all it has to be. Why does everyone feel the need to say, whoa, I know Hogan was a bad guy because he said the N-word? Evidently, saying the N-word is worse. It's the worst thing you can do. It's worse than, I know some wrestlers, I won't say their name, but they're very, very famous. I'm not going to say their name. Beat the shit out of their wives and went to jail. I know Jimmy Superfly Snuka murdered a lady. No one cares. When they're on the big screen or when they die, nobody goes, oh, I know he's a bad guy, but rest in peace. Iron Cheek smoked crack all the time and was, said faggot a lot, was very homophobic. We didn't go, hey, I know he's a bad guy, but rest in peace. Why are they doing it for Hogan? Why does Hulk Hogan have to have this asterisk by his name? Asterisk? Why do we have to do that with Hogan? Because he said the N-word? Is everyone so fragile that saying a racial slur somehow means you don't get to work anymore, somehow means you need to be deleted, somehow means you need to publicly apologize every time you do anything, and anytime someone talks to you, it's the new Scarlet Letter. The new Scarlet Letter is just being accused of or being racially insensitive. That's the new Scarlet Letter. Can't work with him, can't have him, don't let him represent a beer company. And some people have replied to my tweets about this, being like, yeah, but it was more than that. His apology was weak. Yeah, but it was an apology. He apologized. He said he was sorry for talking like that on a private phone call. I'm not condoning it. I think it's fucking disgusting. But also, why bring it up when he dies? That seems so mean. And then another person said, well, it was all that MAGA shit. Like that's why people are upset and they're so happy that he's gone, is because he was like a Trump guy. But that also isn't excusable. The Undertaker's a MAGA guy. He voted for Donald Trump and publicly endorsed him. Kane publicly endorsed Donald Trump and is like a registered Republican and very conservative. What I don't get why Hogan is being villainized so much. Yes, he's not perfect, and he did screw up, and he apologized. I just don't understand what is going on. I mean, maybe I do understand it. I don't think people are really using their brains well enough. I crashed a car drunk, could have killed somebody, could have killed myself. Does that mean I'm forever that? Should I have a Scarlet Letter on me no matter where I go? Like, oh, Jeff Dye, he drunk drove. Yeah. I did. I drunk drove 1,000 times before that night too, and I never got caught. But getting caught means that I have to be dragged on Twitter every time I post something. I wish people would show a little more grace for people in positions of notoriety, celebrities, or even not celebrities. Just for everyone. Show some more grace, the kind of grace you would like to be extended when you screw up. I was gonna say if, but like when you screw up, I hope that people show you grace and show you a little forgiveness, especially if you acknowledge that you screwed up and apologize. I think it's very, very, very strange. I think also people like to think they have reasons, right? Oh, I have reasons to hate Hulk Hogan. Okay. Well, it doesn't mean you should hate Hulk Hogan, right? People say, I have reasons to be racist. Fuck you. No, you don't. Yeah, sure, you might be able to come up with some reasons why you think the way about a group, but your reasons aren't good enough. You can't be prejudiced. You can't be racist. You don't have good reasons. Oh, I've got reasons to hate women. Well, you're wrong. Those reasons aren't good enough. Oh, I've got reasons to think men are pieces of shit. It doesn't matter. Those kids that shot up Columbine, those boys, read their manifesto. They had a lot of good reasons. They were bullied. They were picked on. They were violently attacked at times. They were shoved in a locker, whatever it is. But those reasons aren't good enough to behave the way they behaved. Whatever reasons you think you have to hate someone or judge someone or talk in a prejudiced or racist or ungraceful way, it isn't good enough. The reasons aren't good enough, in my opinion. So fuck your reasons for being a bad person. Try to look past those and do what you think is what is right and what is kind. Speaking of wrestling, John Cena. He's in the middle of a big run. It's called The Last... I can't remember what he's naming it. He holds a towel behind his head. He's like, oh, this is the last run or the last ride or something like that. I don't know what he's calling it. Maybe look it up.
The last time is now?
The last time is now. Yeah, because he's always like, the time is now. And this is the last time is now. Now, it's been great. It's been very exciting. John Cena, I love you. Big fan. It's hard to be a good guy as long as you were a good guy. I'm a little disappointed with the heel turn because I would have loved if you just, your whole career where you were like the new Hulk Hogan. Which we can debate all that if interested, but I meant like just I like when heels were heels for their whole career, and that like Hulk Hogan was a good guy forever. The only reason his heel turn of him turning bad was so successful is because people didn't do that. Wrestlers were just either bad or good. Nowadays, these wrestlers heel turn, face turn every goddamn week. So it's not very shocking when they, oh, I'm a bad guy now. So that's why I was kind of hoping John Cena would stay old school and just be who he was his whole career. I was disappointed with the heel turn. But the more I think about the way they're booking John Cena, and they're saying, hey, it's the last time you'll see him do SummerSlam, get tickets. It's the last WrestleMania he's going to do, get tickets. The more I started thinking about it, because I'm just enjoying it the way everyone else is enjoying it, I started going, wait, why are we falling for this? Don't you guys know? Wrestlers don't retire. Wrestlers go away for maybe a couple years and then they're back in a Royal Rumble. Or they're back in like, actually, I want one more retirement match. Goldberg just came back after, this guy wrestled when I was a child. And Goldberg just came back to do a main event match against Gunther for the championship in Atlanta, Georgia, right? Now listen to this. He flew 100 people out to come see him. He does this big thing. He does a big farewell speech that they ended up cutting off and then later re-airing on the internet or something. He's already talking to AEW about becoming a wrestler. It's like, but we bought into the fact that it was your retirement match. It was your last final hurrah. You fucking tricked us immediately. Like you waited 2 weeks to go, now I'm going to wrestle more. It's crazy that we keep falling for it. The Undertaker put his boots in the ring with his hat over it. It was like a 20-minute spectacle about how like this is Undertaker has finally retired. And me and a bunch of my friends, Clayton Thomas, Richard Barrett, No Juan, Aaron Marsh, we're all in my living room cheersing with a beer, and some of us were teary-eyed because the Undertaker retired, and we're like, man, it's really the ending of an era. Undertaker was back in 3 months in like this pre-taped match against AJ Styles or Bray Wyatt or something. These wrestlers don't fucking retire. I'm not falling for it anymore. Wrestlers either A, overdose and die, or B, they get so injured they have to have their legs amputated and they sit in a big grandfather chair in their house watching wrestling and doing a podcast. Buff Bagwell, Kamala, Kamala is his name. I only knew his name, and then when that lady ran for president, I learned her name correctly, and now I'm mispronouncing Kamala. No, Kamala's name because of her. It doesn't matter. My point is, don't fall for it. John Cena's going to do a bunch of movies, and then he'll come back in like a calendar year, even if for like a month, to promote that movie. He'll be in some matches. The Rock does it all the time. They all do it. Ric Flair was in a match just like a year ago.
Pretty sure they're filming season 2 of his HBO show.
What?
Of John Cena's.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's he's going to be on hiatus because of Peacekeeper.
Right.
Yeah.
Do not fall for this. They do not retire. And even when a guy is so injured or banged up, Daniel Bryan, Big E, I could name 10 others, where the doctors say you aren't allowed to wrestle anymore, they're still in wrestling. They become a manager. They become they become the host of Royal Rumble, or they're a commentator. Wrestlers don't know what to do without this industry because it isn't like like football or basketball where you age out and there's some new young guys. In wrestling, they can find a place for you. And you can also just take less bumps than you used to, which is just what they call taking moves and landing on your back and things. And so it's like you can just kind of take a less of a workload, but you're still in wrestling. The wrestlers don't go anywhere. So the only true retirement in wrestling is death. And so I don't know why anyone's falling for this. Also, I'm not shitting on anyone. I'm just saying I'm not falling for it. John Cena, I love you. And I also love the Peacekeeper, and it's awesome that you're in Mortal Kombat. Anyways, love you guys. Wanted to just say that. I love you guys. Love you, John. Love you, wrestling. Not trying to talk shit on wrestling. Just trying to tell it like it is, which is, that's my shtick now. I'm Mr. Honesty. I'm Mr. Tell It Like It Is. I sent you a video. Let's play this video. This is something that happened. This is becoming a WNBA podcast at this point. So many things are happening in this league. Look at this video.
On a lot, but at the end, I went through the rim. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. She's going to go head to the back. Oh, no.
Timeout called for Copper to deal with the malfunction. And now they have an issue with a fan as the officials, as Phoenix's bench had an issue. They're having Alyssa Thomas and Nate Tibbetts point out which fan it is. So the officials are now talking to arena security here. As you can see, so a fan said something. The Phoenix Mercury bench heard it, and they did not like what was said. They're taking exception to it, so Amy Bonner, crew chief, is trying to have this sorted out with the arena security here as to which person it was, and that way they can get it taken care of. 1-point lead to start this fourth quarter. Kalia Copper back on the bench for Phoenix.
And it bounced around
All
a
right.
lot, but
So here's what happens. A woman's wig falls off during gameplay. Immediately runs to grab her wig instead of continuing playing defense or offense, whatever they're on. Runs to the back like it's her wildest nightmare I'm a monster. My hair fell off, and puts her hair back on. It looked like a nightmare for her. It looked like by body language, reading body language, she seemed like it was not her finest moment. She seemed pretty embarrassed. She's rushing to put her wig back on. It doesn't help that the commentator's like, oh no, her hair fell up. Yeah, it's a big nightmare, right? Which these things happen, whatever. If you're going to have women's basketball, I guess there's going to be some women's issues, losing your weave on the court. These things might happen. The reason I'm covering it on Die Hard Podcast and the reason I'm annoyed or like confused or whatever is this is another example of the WNBA being soft and also trying to do something that you would never see in the regular NBA while they insist on being treated like the NBA. A fan was ejected for, quote, making fun of her. Not used profanity, not said a racial slur, not was like, being a nuisance in the stands. He made fun of her. Can you believe he made fun of her? How many times have you heard someone shout or yell or criticize or tweet or podcast about LeBron James' hairline? I don't know, 1,000,000 times. I'm at Laker games where I yell at guys about their bodies and how ugly they are, or how old they look, or how slow they are. Luka's too fat. It's part of the sport. This fan was ejected. You can hear the mic'd up referee say, the players said that he was making fun of her. Yeah, her hair fell off and she grabbed her wig like a Looney Tunes cartoon and ran back into the tunnel, like going back, like not even like was a boss about it. Like, yeah, fuck it. My hair fell off. Let's keep rolling. Like she's in a fight or like she's an actual athlete. That's what you would do. There's been guys in the NFL who break a finger and they keep playing because they're like, hey, the game is on. The game is more important than a little broken finger or a bloody lip or a twisted ankle or a wardrobe malfunction. You just keep playing. She loses her wig and immediately throws it back on top of her head and runs into the locker room. Now, that's worthy of being made fun of by the fans. In fact, you could hear an audible laugh from everyone when her hair fell off. Like what I say, eject that whole section. Can you believe they laughed at a little girl, a willow girl? That's what makes this whole thing so condescending for me, is when people say stuff like, well, you know, this is woman-owned restaurant. We're supposed to go, wow. No, that's condescending. I would say a more appropriate and mature approach would be like, sure. Yeah, why wouldn't a woman be able to do that? Well, these are the kind of moments where we're giving women some sort of special treatment that comes off very condescending. She doesn't need to be protected from a fan that made fun of her for her hair falling off. I mean, it's hilarious. Your goddamn weave fell off during a WNBA game. That's hilarious. I'm just very annoyed with it. What were you going to show me?
Oh, it wasn't important, but it was a comparison, if you wanted to see, of what happens to a man in that situation. He keeps running.
Very surprised Chris Jones came out this year.
I know what this
really
is.
Highly recruited kid.
Poor
penis.
Chris Jones.
His cock falls out.
You can see how long-legged he is. He's a little stiff in the hips, but boy, is he
And then he
stout.
just falls on it until he can adjust himself.
Smart. Smart.
Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here.
Look at that one guy behind there with the clock.
Take a look, but it looks like he's all right.
He's really stout.
Good framing.
Yeah, smart. Yeah. Check out the guy that's right behind him.
Player.
The guy in the timer who's looking
That's
back.
now illegal in Major League Baseball, by the way. He tries that.
that shot showed the hanger, dude. That showed.
Okay.
But there's a great picture of a guy right here. Wait, go back to the first time. And then now there's a gray guy looking back.
See how long-legged he is.
He's wearing all gray with the clock. And
that hurt.
Well, he's laughing.
wait for it. Pause. Look at him. He's going, the hell? Because that guy's right there. He saw the cock and balls in action. And then he's looking back going, did I see what I thought I saw? Did that guy have a 13-inch hammer? Like, what the fuck?
Stopwatch doesn't measure that.
He's going, he goes, does this count? Like, is that why he fell? Because of the weight of his giant cock? Yeah, that's a hilarious moment. But yeah, Chris Jones doesn't stop and run in the back and put his cock away. He keeps running. It's amazing. I love you guys. This weekend, I'm going to be in Greeley, Colorado on Thursday. Friday, I'm in Casper, Wyoming. And on Saturday, I'm in Nebraska. Excuse me. You can get tickets for any of those at jeffdye.com. Very, very excited to get back on the road with Brant Tobler. It's going to be a good time. Come see him. Come see me. It's going to be fun. Go to jeffdye.com. Thank you for being here. I love all you guys.